Good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. At ngayon po ay July 4, 2022. Alam po ninyo, noong 1960s, ito po ang ating Independence Day, July 4. Dahil July 4, 1945, tayo ay lumaya from the American rule, Pero noong 1964 or 1965, binago po ito ni Diosdado Macapagal. Ginawa pong June 12. Kaya noong 1984, nung martial law, panahon ni Marcos, ang July 4 ay isang non-working holiday, Ang tawag diyan ay Phil-American Friendship Day. Pero noong 1986, hindi na po na-celebrate, hindi na po napasama sa list of holidays ang July 4, pero hanggang ngayon ay sineselebrate pa rin po ng Filipino at American community ang July 4 as Phil-American Friendship Day. Dati po ay non-working holiday po ito. Magandang araw po, ito po si Benji Chodoro, isang retired bank officer na nagsimulang mag-invest sa Philippine stock market noong 2007. Kung kayo po ay bago sa channel na ito, ginagawa ko po ito araw-araw na sinimulan ko po ng August of 2020. I also report the latest news tungkol sa inyong paborito at pinaka-aktibong stocks. Kung gusto niyo po ng content, niimbitahan ko po kayo mag-subscribe sa aking channel. Kung meron po kayong stocks na gusto niyo pa-review, paki-comment lang po sa comment box at aking pa-prioritize. Hindi po ako financial advisor. Anything I say sa channel na ito ay hindi po financial advice. Ang ating news ay tungkol sa veto ng Bulacan Economic Zone Bill kasama ang ating financial headlines at ang resulta ng trading sa ating PSE ngayong araw, July 4, 2022, dito lamang sa The Stock Market Today. Ang ating financial headlines ay galing po sa BDO Securities. Ang sabi ng mga analyst, June inflation likely to hit 6% in June 2022. BSP survey show businesses less upbeat, consumers more bullish for third quarter 2022. Hot money outflows posted in May. Then in our sectoral company news, BIR issues guidelines for renewable energy tax perks. Then Marcos Jr. vetoes ecozone status for Bulacan Airport City. Ito po yung ating main news. Metro Pacific to buy 40% of Jakarta Expressway. NIKL Shell JV to develop 1 gigawatt renewable energy. Okay, so let's now go to our main news. At tingnan po natin, nandito po siya sa PhilStar. And very short lang po ito. San Miguel Special Economic Zone Bill vetoed by Marcos. One of the first things that President Marcos did when he officially became president was to veto a bill granted Special Economic Zone and Freeport status on San Miguel's proposed Bulacan's Airport City. Citing substantial fiscal risk to the country, President Marcos also said that the proposed bill was in conflict with other agencies' mandates and authorities. This veto only applies to House Bill 7575, an act establishing the Bulacan Airport City Special Economic Zone and Freeport Province of Bulacan and appropriating funds therefore, and does not apply to the 50-year franchise that SMC received from Congress to operate the airport. Under the bill that was vetoed, a special Bulacan Ecozone Authority would have been created to manage the airport and the adjacent lands. It would be operated by a separate customs territory. And then we also have part of that here in the summary of BDO Securities. SMC President and CEO Ramon Ang said he respects the decision of President Marcos, but expressed optimism that the issues would be clarified and resolved. Mr. Ang noted that the government stands to reap the minimum $200 billion in export revenues annually from potential foreign investors in the planned economic zone complex if the vision for the Bulacan Airport Economic Zone is realized. Okay, so sa commentary, sabi niya, House Bill 7575 would have entitled enterprises operating in the area to tax incentive, which is crucial for SMC to attract investors within Bulacan Airport Complex. Reduced incentives would lessen the profitability and increase the break-even period for the project. Okay, so yan po yung commentary ni BDO Securities, at ang nag-sponsor po nito sa Senate ay ang kanyang kapatid, si Amy Marcos. So it's a bit ironic na yung bill na ito ay vinito ni Marcos, and probably he sees something to it. Now, dito sa business world, ang sinasabi naman dito, ang headline niya was Analyst Praise Marcos Veto of Bulacan Economic Bill. So mixed po yung reception nito, and most analysts would consider that the veto would be okay, or maaring merong substance yung pag-veto ng Bulacan Economic Zone Bill. Kasi most analysts would agree to the veto. Before we go to the index, let us check yung anyong request. Ang sabi ni Michael Lopez, next NIKL. Sir, kung pwede. Salamat. Okay, sige si NIKL. And then, sir, request po, TEL and RFM, thanks. Sabi ni Terence Cruz. Then, Isip Roman says, thank you, sir, happy weekend. Thank you also. Tyrone Ocampo, request DMC and AUB. Thank you in advance. Okay, sama natin yan. And then we have Ralph Copinco, thanks. Meron namang LTG sa review. Okay, salamat din po. So we will be reviewing NIKL, TEL, RFM, DMC, and AUB. So we'll be reviewing 5 of your requests. So let's start. But before that, let's go to the index. So yung index slightly up 18.27 points or 0.30% in the green to end at 6183.62. But again, this may just be a temporary rise, dahil pababa pa rin po ang movement, hindi po siya significant, at yung RSI nasa 38. Ito po yung text peak ni BDO Sec, and ang projection niya nasa 6,000 yung support level, and within the 6,000 area, and hopefully yun na po yung pinaka support niya, yung suitable support base na sinasabi niya. And meron siyang ina-expect or tinitingnan possible bullish divergence on the RSI, so abangan po natin yon. Kasi po oversold po siya dito noong January 22, and it seems to be moving upwards slightly. So, yan po yung sinasabi niya, possible bullish divergence, but the support is probably here at the 6,000 level. So, yan po yung next support level ni PSE. So, let's now go to the market activity. 111 companies declined, 69 advanced, while 50 remained unchanged. The all-share index also gained 0.25%. So slightly up din po. And then yung sectoral indices ended mixed. Financials, holding companies, and industrials are up, led by the financials at 1.59%. But mining, properties, and services are down, led by mining, losing 1.29%. So, tingnan po natin si NIKL, TEL, RFM, DMC, AUB, and AUB. Lahat po ito ay request. NIKL, let's start with NIKL. Yan, it went down also. And our indicators are above, indicating a bearish movement. So if we will draw a parallel channel here on the short term, ay makikita po natin na pababa po yung movement niya. And tingnan nga natin yung nickel prices. Yan, yung nickel futures is down 3.87%. So the company just basically follows the world nickel prices, which is down by 19 centavos today, with support at 560 and resistance at 7 pesos. And the movement is downwards, so RSI is also down at 35.36. So it's a downward trend for nickel. And then RFM, hindi pa natin nare-review ito, no? Naku, sporadic. Okay, meron siyang dividends dito. 7.73 centavos per share. Ex-date is July 6. July 6 is Wednesday, no? So it's just 7.7335. And just like most of the stocks in the index, ay pababa din po siya. Earnings, okay, meron namang income to. Ito po yung mga produkto niya ay kay Mr. Concepcion to eh. No, Selecta products and some foodstuffs, But it's moving downwards. Based on a 1-week chart, ang ating support nandito po sa 4 pesos or near that area. It's resting on support already, and the resistance would be here, mga 460 to 470. Yan po yung pinaka resistance niya. Balik natin sa 1 day. Yan po ang pinaka resistance ni RFM. And maaring based on dito ay hindi po araw-araw nagte-trade ang mga traders dito. Although tinignan ko naman kanina na meron namang volume, Kasi right now the volume is 62,000 shares at 244. Meron naman, but the candlestick configuration appears sporadic, Ganyan po yung kanyang movement niya. Minsan flat lang, tapos aakyat bababa. So, probably there is not much interest in the stock. Yun lang po ang aking impression dito. Okay? Then DMC, nagawa ba natin si Tel? Parang lumaktaw tayo Sige, sunod natin si Tel. DMC is also moving sideways. It's moving sideways. And there is a red candlestick today, losing 11 centavos, but it's still above our long term, which means that the general direction is slightly up, sideways to an upward movement ang DMC. Ang RSI niya nasa midpoint, almost 50, 49, and yesterday it was above at 53. And there is a possibility of this moving upwards. It has been that way since tagal ng upward ito tagal na nito. 2020 upwards po yung movement niya. And maganda naman po yung earnings. Yung resistance niya nandito po sa 926 with support very near this area. Higher support would be 832. The lower support would be at 807. Okay, slightly moving up, sideways to bullish yung kanyang movement. And then AUB, Asia United. Okay, move sideways din po ang kanyang movement dito. Meron siyang dividends of 1 peso. Ex-date is July 12. So, again, just like RFM, mukhang sporadic yung kanyang movement, although meron namang volume, That's my impression of the stock. 1 week nga natin to. So, ang pinaka-support niya, nandito, yan, sa 41.78. Near support na po. Resistance is here. Very near this area. At 45.54. So, yan po yung movement ni AUB, similar to RFM. And it's moving sideways basically. But RSI appears to be bullish, no? Nandito na siya, nasa 44. Minsan bagsak, minsan taas. May news kaya. Okay. So that's just the cash dividends. Okay, so that's for AUB. And then finally, we have TEL. Na-skip kanina. That should have been our second stock. Ano? Si TEL, bearish din si TEL. Pero may upside po ito. May upside si TEL. It went bearish noong June 10. No? Pataas siya. Ever since pataas po ito. Since August 2021, last year. No? Pero it fell bearish because of inflation. No? So, ang pinaka-support ni TEL nandito based on the 1-week chart. This is support area actually. Diyan, sa 1700 ang pinaka-support ni TEL. And the resistance would be here. Pero maganda pong fundas ni TEL, fundamentally. Ang presyo po niya is PLDT. 2,290 or about a 37% upside si TEL. So, at this level, actually nag-low siya of 1670 yesterday, no? And at one point here, nung March, ay nagkaroon siya ng low ng 1585, which means na maganda bumili. Balik natin sa one day. Yan po. So, yan po ang ating report sa stock market. Ika-4 ng Hulyo, 2022. Ito po si Benji Chidoro nagpapaalala. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagsubaybay at hanggang sa muli. Stay safe, God bless, and bye for now.